Fabrizio Romano shares a major update on Alexander Isak amid Liverpool's interest and talks with Newcastle's owner. Attention! Crystal Palace opens negotiations with Liverpool for a midfielder. How much could Liverpool pay for Rio Ngumoha, with Chelsea potentially pointing to the 2019 precedent? Hello, Reds fans. Welcome, my friend. Come check out the latest news from the biggest club in the world. Liverpool is racing against time to try to complete the signing of Alexander Isak, the Newcastle United striker, as the Premier League transfer window approaches its end. The deadline for English clubs is 7 p.m. next Monday, and the Reds know that every hour counts to determine the player's future. Anfield has already submitted an official £110 million bid for Isak, but Newcastle immediately rejected it. The situation has grown even tenser in recent days. Isak publicly accused Newcastle of breaking promises made to him in earlier discussions, causing internal discomfort. The club responded with a statement saying they never guaranteed his exit. Last Monday, Liverpool beat Newcastle 3-2 in an exciting Premier League match, with the winning goal scored by 16-year-old Rio Ngumoha in the 100th minute, while Newcastle played with 10 men. Behind the scenes, the tension was even greater. Hours before the match, Newcastle co-owner Jamie Rubin personally visited Alexander Isak to try to convince him to return to the squad. But the Swedish striker remains firm in his decision not to train or play for the club in recent weeks. Newcastle chairman Yasir Al-Rumayyan was also present at St. James Park on match day, but did not participate directly in negotiations with the player. Still, he supported Rubin's initiative to attempt reconciliation. Nothing changed. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano on his YouTube channel, Isak remains steadfast. Alexander Isak insists on his position, on his desire, on his clear vision. He wants to go to Liverpool. The message coming from the player and his agent in all conversations with Newcastle's board is clear. He wants to play at Anfield. Even under pressure from highly influential people within the club, Isak has not backed down. For Romano, this firmness, maintained for weeks, even as the window nears its end, shows that the striker truly does not intend to change his mind. Liverpool, for its part, does not hide that Isak is the main target. The club sees the Swede as the perfect opportunity in the market, an elite striker ready to start with no direct competition from other European giants at the moment. For financial and technical reasons, no other club is negotiating for him. For the Reds, this makes the opportunity even more valuable, a chance to sign one of the world's best forwards almost in a solo race. However, there is a major obstacle. Newcastle is unlikely to release Isak without first signing at least 2 new attackers. The squad has already lost Callum Wilson this summer, and the board knows selling Isak without proper replacements would be a huge risk for the season. This is the main factor holding up the negotiation. Isak's desire is clear. He wants to play for Liverpool, and there are no signs of him backing down, even with the window closing soon. The club has not advanced with other options and needs to decide quickly, but remains confident that Isak is the ideal reinforcement to transform the attack.
Crystal Palace is accelerating its transfer plans following the departure of Eberechi Eze for £67.5 million, with Liverpool's Harvey Elliott emerging as a top target. According to Football Insider, Palace is seeking a creative player to fill the gap left by Eze and is preparing negotiations with Liverpool. Mick Brown, former chief scout for Manchester United and Blackburn, expressed surprise about the 22-year-old situation. Quote, "I'm surprised he hasn't found a destination yet. I expected him to move to somewhere like Palace, Fulham, or Nottingham Forest, and it could still happen, but it's getting late." RB Leipzig is also linked with Elliott. The potential sale of Xavi Simons by Chelsea could be key to completing a deal for the England international, while Palace is closely monitoring the situation and ready to act quickly. Brown added, Harvey Elliott would be a good signing for several Premier League clubs. He would fit well into Palace's style, in a position where he's not exactly a winger or a number 10, but can move through the middle. Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner expressed frustration with the slow pace of transfers this summer, with the club having signed only Borna Sosa from Ajax and Walter Benitez from PSV. Speculation over Mark Guihi's future has increased pressure for decisive action. Brown stated, "Replacing Eze will be very difficult. He was key to the squad and how they played, but the club has already started evaluating some players who could fill his role." Liverpool's stance on Elliott will be crucial for manager Arne Slot in defining the squad for the next season. Despite increased midfield competition, Elliott remains highly valued at Anfield due to his versatility as a playmaker, useful both in the squad and as an asset for a potential transfer. With the window closing soon, Palace's determination to sign Elliott demonstrates their intent to rebuild quickly after Eze's departure. For Liverpool, a transfer could mean a significant fee to reinvest in other areas, while for Elliott, it would be an opportunity to secure a starting role in a team that values technical skill and creativity. RB Leipzig's interest adds complexity, placing Liverpool in the position of choosing between a domestic or European transfer. Given the club's recent history of protecting its assets, any sale will likely include clauses to safeguard Elliott's future value. If the transfer happens, Liverpool fans will hope for the young player's success, though many may wonder if his full potential was ever realized at Anfield. Liverpool was determined to do everything to sign Rio Ngumoha from Chelsea's academy last summer, and recent events show why. The Reds had to complete a complex 5-step registration process in the Premier League to finalize the signing of the young winger, who scored the stoppage time winner just 4 minutes after his first division debut against Newcastle on Monday. The loss of Ngumoha caused significant frustration at Chelsea, so much so that, according to The Athletic, the club banned its scouts from attending academy matches at Cobham. Regarding compensation, a tribunal will decide how much Liverpool will need to pay Chelsea. The Professional Football Compensation Committee will consider factors such as age, playing history, time spent at Chelsea, the status of both clubs, and the terms offered by both parties. For reference, when signing Harvey Elliott in 2019, Fulham received £1.5 million guaranteed and up to £2.8 million in potential add-ons. Chelsea is expected to seek a similar amount for Ngumoha, especially given the board's anger over his transfer to Anfield. With such a promising talent, a fee under £5 million would be considered a bargain. Ngumoha will be able to sign his first professional contract of up to 3 years when he turns 17 on Friday. It is important to note, however, that placing too much pressure on a teenager at such a delicate stage of his career and life requires caution. Still, what he's shown so far indicates a very promising future for Liverpool in the months and years ahead. The excitement is not based solely on the goal against Newcastle. During preseason, Ngumoha had already impressed with solo goals against teams like Yokohama F. Marinos and Athletic Bilbao, showing fearlessness against older, more experienced players. Even before his Premier League debut, Anfield demonstrated confidence in the 16-year-old, choosing not to pursue other left-footed talents like Bradley Barcola or Malik Fofana, ensuring that Ngumoha's path to the first team remained clear. What we have seen so far suggests Ngumoha will not be a one-hit wonder. His trajectory indicates he could become a lasting reference for the team and possibly for world football, leaving his mark far beyond that thrilling night at St. James's Park. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.